Hey guys, my name's Simon Kalu and I'm the UK partner in the Tony Robbins Global Accounting Advisors. And in today's short video, I'm going to talk to you about some steps you can take to lean out your business now and give your business the best chance of surviving through this period and at least the next 90 days of the coronavirus crisis. Many businesses aren't taking the step of leaning out their business and cutting their overall fixed costs. They're either in stuck mode or they're pivoting to a new strategy and trying to build new revenue without actually reducing the burden of their fixed costs and stopping and doing this exercise. And that's a massive mistake. Over 65% of businesses have either been seriously affected to the point where they're going to close or have to significantly close down temporarily a portion of their operations. And that doesn't have to be you. You don't have to be part of that 65% if you follow these processes. So what are the steps? Step one is to do a complete overheads review. And that doesn't mean cutting every single cost. It means going down each individual outgoing and categorizing them into, I want to cancel this cost because I'm not even using it anymore. I used this software 18 months ago and I've been paying it for it every single month since then and forgot about it because times were great and I didn't need to do this. I want to pause this cost, or I would love to have still access to this cost, but I don't necessarily need it. For those ones, I'd contact the software supplier or the service provider and ask them if they'll do a pause or a discount on your billing, because you may still want access, but if push comes to shove, you would turn it off. And then there are things that you definitely need, like maybe your CRM, because you're going to double down on email marketing and try and generate as much revenue from your audience as possible during this period. So you need that CRM software. You may even need to purchase additional modules. The second step is to look at your biggest costs. And if you're a service business, they are going to be people. So it may even be yourself and your rent or rates. And there are grants available from the government on both. So I would look into how you can access them. And those grants can reduce the cost of your rent, rates, and your team to a net cost of zero. Okay, and then the third step that I would take is to potentially look at pivoting and creating new revenue streams so that you can generate additional revenue, and to consider actually not just cutting cost but doubling down on some costs. So if you can prove that spending on Facebook advertising will generate you additional revenue for a new product that you've got, I would create a plan, a financial plan and a cash flow, test that it works, and then consider doubling down. And I know it sounds counterintuitive to the title of this video, but doubling down and spending more money in certain areas. So it's really important that you reduce your fixed cost and understand the difference between fixed and variable. So fixed costs are the ones that you have to keep paying regardless of your sales revenue levels. Your variable costs are the ones that you choose to spend on, like Facebook ads, in order to generate more sales. So we're trying to reduce fixed costs here by doing an overheads review line by line, seeing what costs we want to either keep, cancel or pause, and making sure that we do a proper return on investment calculation. The other thing I would do is go through your bank accounts, each individual bank account, including your personal bank accounts. Cancel off any direct debits for the things that you don't want to keep. Cancel off any standing orders. And that's another way of checking if there's anything active. There might be some costs that you haven't identified by looking at maybe the last 3 months of outgoings. And maybe it's a year's subscription to Dropbox that's about to come out and it's a massive amount and you'd forgotten about it. So if you go through your active direct debits, you'll see, okay, there's a Dropbox. It comes out every year. Go and cancel it. So just make sure you do that, otherwise you could come a cropper for that. Cancel any direct debits for tax payments and you'll be in a position where you've got a much leaner business, okay? You're in crisis mode. We can go into this in a lot more detail. This is just skimming over the surface of what you should do, but these are the first steps I would take in any business. Whether you're doing okay at the moment, it's still a good time to go through this process. And if you're really affected, it will reduce the amount of stress and worry you've got around bringing sales in to meet the needs of your costs. Secondly, if there's still a gap and you've still got more fixed costs than the revenue that you think you can bring in, there's access to government funding, up to 330 billion of government funding. So to dig into it in a bit more detail, this Thursday I'll be hosting a webinar with Tony Robbins, and we'll be going through all of the government relief packages that are available, demystifying them and showing you which ones can apply to you. How do you apply for them step by step? What are the important things to do when that funding comes in? And a bit more detail around what we talked about today, how to release hidden profit and cash flow in your business. So if you're a small business owner, I would urge you to come on that webinar this Thursday at 6 p.m. It's free. It's just so we can genuinely reach as many business owners as possible and help them at this crisis time, so that we can reduce those statistics. 65% of businesses that are looking to close is really upsetting and an outrageous statistic. So let's work together to get that down. If you found this video useful, please go and register for the webinar. The link will be below in the comments and on any of my profiles, and please share the link with anyone you think would benefit from coming on the webinar, that is effectively anyone with a business. Thanks for watching this video today. I'm Simon Kalu, the UK partner in Tony Robbins Global Accounting Advisors, and I'll see you every day this week for a short video like this with my top tips for how you can not only survive but thrive through the coronavirus.